All right, guys, so I finally got Mark over here, my neighbor, with his little John Deere bulldozer, and gonna have him push some piles of this cut trees back here that the excavator guy left at the entrance. It's a big mess. I mean, I can't even burn them, because if I burn them, it's gonna, burn up all these trees. It's amazing how much power a bulldozer has compared to a skid steer. I mean, a skid steer, you could never do this. It's a bulldog, man. Just goes right into these trees and just pushes everything over. So if you can see that big pile of trees, that's from the initial opening up of the road here. And we can't burn them because it'll catch these other trees on fire. So Mark's gonna try and move these over this way and then take this whole big pile of dirt that I'm standing on, which is, I don't even know how much dirt. It's a lot. So what the plan is, hopefully, once he moves all these trees out of the way, then we'll take this big mountain of dirt that I'm standing on and push it out and spread the dirt out, so this isn't here, because every time it's raining really bad, it's just pushing a bunch of dirt into the drainage and clogging everything up. Pretty impressive. I mean, I've seen skid steers work and they can barely cut into the dirt, an inch without having some problems with traction, but this thing's just pushing. I don't even know how many pounds of weight that is. And that's a small bulldozer. So after he moves some of these big trees that were cut down, piles them up over here so that we can deal with them later, maybe do a burn pile. Gonna have him cut in the little swell that they made, because as I mentioned earlier, they definitely didn't cut it deep enough. So I'm gonna have him cut the swell deeper on the right side going up, and then on the left side I'm gonna have him take a couple trees down and then flatten it out, take out all the little high spots that would cause water to run into the street, and then that will give us a nice path to be able to mow, because once all this is done, we want to be able to keep this nice and mowed as we're driving up the road. We don't want a bunch of overgrowth coming into the road, and that happens very quickly out here.
In the middle of work, everything came to a halt. I saw Mark jump off the bulldozer, yelling and trying to brush something off him. When he came towards me, I could see he was in real pain. He'd driven right over a yellow jacket's nest, and within seconds, they swarmed him by the hundreds, stinging him over and over. I sent the drone over to the spot he pointed out, and sure enough, the air above the ground was thick with yellow jackets circling their torn-up nest. It was the last thing I expected to deal with today. We had so much planned, but now all I can think about is how bad I feel for Mark, and that happened on our land.
The worst part yet to come, it'll itch you. It'll just
get through your blood and just start.
It's all down out my calves, man. I'm gonna have to go to the house.
Okay, man. All right, well, unfortunately that didn't go as planned. We did not equate for hitting 2 yellow jacket nests and them stinging Mark really, really bad. So he's calling it a day, going home to take some Benadryl or something. But that solves the issue of whether or not I would get a open cab tractor. No way, not after seeing that, man. I mean, there was thousands of these things swarming him. So yeah, I would never have an open cab tractor out here. So, all right, guys, didn't get done what we wanted to today, but we'll pick up on the next project.
Mark came back a few days later, and today we have a really big project ahead of us. Remember back in July when we dug that long trench for our water line? Well, it's still open, so today the plan is to finally cover it up with soil using the bulldozer. The trench is about 1,200 foot long, and we have to be extremely careful because there's water hydrants positioned along the trench line. Mark has to work with precision to avoid damaging them. It's a big and very responsible task for him today.
So one of the things that I want to have them do is all over the property has a bunch of terraces. I guess in the 1950s they cut these things in because there was a lot of erosion. But the only reason there was erosion is because they clear cut everything. But driving around on these terraces is a nightmare. I'm gonna see if he can, you know, just smooth it on out so when we're driving the side by side on it, it's not just such a, you know, jerking around the whole time. All right, so as you can see, it's nice and flat, no more huge hump to go over. However, here's the however. When the rains come, it's gonna do what it wants with this. I mean, anytime that you touch the ground here and the rains come, they're gonna do what they wanna do. They're gonna take the water and put it the easiest path. So I don't know how this is gonna hold up after the rain. We're gonna figure it out because I did, you know, take the top off of this hump originally, and after the rains came, it seemed to make another, you know, trench where the water went. So I don't know if this is going to solve the problem or make it worse. Just gonna have to wait for the heavy rains to come, and then it's gonna go ahead and do what it's gonna do, and we'll just have to work around it. So. This one that he's doing now is probably the biggest problem as far as how difficult it's going to be, because it's a big steep turn and it gets angled like this, so I want to get it as flat as I can so that when we're driving the UTV and when we get the tractor, it's not like, you know, big thick angle. So I got to tell you, watching this bulldozer just is impressive. These guys just can push, push, push. Now I know why everyone says you're supposed to use a bulldozer to cut a road. And now I know why our road sucks, because the guys who built our road used a skid steer. Had they used a bulldozer, it would have been a whole different game. So
There was still plenty of work left, so I asked Mark to come back and finish the dozer projects. So today we're focusing on the road, deepening the ditches on both sides so rain can flow downhill instead of flooding and washing out our gravel driveway.
also what I'm having him do on the side of the road here, I'm having him try to flatten it all out, because, you know, once we get a tractor, we're going to want to keep this nice and manicured and mow it, and right now it's impossible to mow because of all the uneven terrain. So gonna have him try to, you know, level off at least, you know, 5-10 foot on the side of the road so we can mow it, so it's gonna stay nice and a bunch of weeds aren't gonna grow towards the road. If I could go back in time. You know, if you're building a road, you know, these guys who did my road just did the bare minimum. Like I said, they cut a path, they didn't put drainage. You know, they should have gone minimum 20 foot wide on the clearing and smoothed everything out, and then created, you know, ditches on the side or swells just so the water could go down. But, you know, all this should have been cleared on the sides. And even here, I mean, they didn't even, this is the swell that the guys came back and did, and as you can see, I mean, they just didn't really go wide enough on the road. If I ever have to build another road, at least now I know what not to do. So anyway, in the end, you know, hopefully a couple of years we'll be able to get this thing paved or something, put some blacktop down and make it really, really nice. But for now, just gonna have to maintain it as best we can with a tractor once we get it. So. Driving a bulldozer looks pretty badass, I gotta say. I mean, I drove the big excavator, but this is what I should have rented and done the road myself. After seeing the way this thing can just take down one of these trees, and this is a small bulldozer. It's only a John Deere 450. If you get like a D6 or whatever they're called, those big bulldozers, man, I can imagine how easy it would be just to go ahead and have cut this road and just taken out all the trees. So I just still can't for the life of me understand why those guys used a skid steer. It just blows my mind. Stupidity. But anyway, looks like we might get some rain really soon. Beautiful, beautiful out here. Just made it back right as it started to pour. Loud, huh, Nico? Oh my God, it's so loud. So loud. What do you think, buddy?
In just 3 days, Mark and I knocked out a ton of work. We backfilled the water trench, smoothed out the old terrace bumps, widened the road, and cleared out a bunch of unnecessary trees. It really hit me again how powerful it is to have the right equipment for the job. Looking back, there are so many things I would have done differently, starting with not wasting money on the so-called professionals who built this road wrong in the first place. But that's life. You live and you learn, and you keep moving forward, wiser every step of the way. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, now's the time. Hit that thumbs up, drop a comment, and come along as we turn this raw piece of land into a thriving homestead. We share everything honestly, the wins, the mistakes, and everything in between. Thanks for watching, and thanks for being a part of this journey.